thinking of,
Is she down again?
she's, I'm like, are you coming down to this meeting? She's like, I'm been in bed all day. I'm like, what?
Yeah, I had whatever the funk was going around, and it put me down for a good number of days. I felt like I just fatigued. I couldn't get up enough energy to do anything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I had to go pick up Emily the other night, Zach's like, I'm
Yeah, same thing. Turned out I was just lazy.
What movie is that? Is it Wayne's World? It's like, I thought I had Marvel for a whole year. Turns out I was bored.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was, yeah.
She wants to pay me for everything I do. I'm like,
I always look at it and think, well, what are the classic movies, like the cult classic movies that are coming out now that nobody knows about?
Oh, I know.
Because I think back and there's like a Strange Brew and Wayne's World and all those movies.
What was she here?
Trying to get my kids to watch them once. They're missing out on the culture.
Well, we all were here, and the assessors were here.
Good old humor.
Nobody came 4:30 meeting. There's no entertainment.
I was here.
That's public knowledge. How dare you get that in my report? Come on, people. The council needs some community input. Did you have a community engagement this week already? See, we need community input.
It was only on.
There's the door.
Vernon's coming, we're gonna have a public information meeting and a public hearing on our street and alley overlays. We'll find out who wants and who doesn't want. We'll have all kinds of input.
I'm gonna be on that day though. I know, I've been.
Is that a training?
Actually, in the public hearing, which is the second meeting in May, I'm actually going to be at Scott.
Nice. How long will you be there? 3 weeks?
Scotland, Ireland.
Sounds awful.
Taking my wife back for a McDougal plan.
It's a sacrifice you gotta make.
Been through the history in Scotland, they've always been at war with anyone.
You're on the edge of the
Landlords or, whatever, fighting for.
I've got a family shield in the whole shebang.
Sorry, I'm good. Are you going to the second tomorrow?
Probably not. You can get to me if you're not.
Summit? Very curious.
The criminal.
Dare.
I know.
I wanted to go,
Where is it?
The original rules.
but I gotta be in court in I Falls.
That's the opposite end of the.
I know.
You're past the column.
Actually, going across the border to fish.
No, I wish I was.
That's okay, I can do this.
Only for so long.
All the way around.
We refer to them as Vern Yell.
All right, good evening, everybody. Call to order Chisholm City Council meeting, April 4th, 2024. Susan, would you please take roll call?
Counselor Halverson.
President?
Counselor McLaraha. Absent. Counselor Fountain. Absent. Counselor Halva.
Present.
Counselor Vasquez.
Here.
Mayor Lance.
Here. All right, council, we'll look for a motion to adopt the agenda.
Make the motion?
Thank you, Jed.
For.
Thank you, Travis. Any further discussion? All those in favor? Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. Pledge allegiance, if you will.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, we do have one for public participation tonight. Brittany Larson. Is he? Good evening, Ms. Larson. Start at the 5 minutes when you start.
I'll let you guys have your pamphlets. I'm Brittany Larson. I just live here in town, and I'm just interested in providing you guys with information on being okay with having chickens in town. I went through a lot of different studies, and I want you guys to utilize these in a way that would hopefully help you revisit our ordinance and maybe make it more accessible for people to have. Not only in Belgium, but Canada, the United States, our cities are taking on having chickens in our town. And the first few articles are not just about eggs, but the waste that it can diminish in our waste production. So 150 to 300 eggs per hen are harvested per year, depending on the age and health and status. So that's our eggs, but our waste, as you can see here, they can eat about 330 pounds of food per year. And that,
Marty, could you bend that microphone down just in case?
sorry.
So everybody at home can hear you too.
So,
Thank you. Good call, Sam.
So it's more about reducing the volume of unwanted food going into the landfills. Unwanted food in landfills creates methane and a potential greenhouse gas. Unwanted food fed to the backyard chickens creates fresh eggs and potent source of protein. Each person in the U.S. throws away approximately 300 pounds of food each year. The total of the food consumed during the 5-week study that shows in the second article was about 350 pounds per person. So a flock of 4 chickens in the backyard can be expected to consume approximately 332.8 pounds of household food scraps per year. So not only are you getting your food source, you're getting waste reduction that is going into landfills. So then I go into food security, which is my third article, and the backyard hens provide a cheap and nutritious and regular source of protein for little investment for the people. And I wanted, that second page goes over rules and some concerns that were cited in this article. A lot of the rules has to do with the maximum amount of chickens and the minimum amount, which is very important because there shouldn't be a single chicken, there should always be 2 or more. So I just want you guys to have that in mind if you do revisit this. So chickens need to be in a flock, they need proper enclosures, they need proper outdoor enclosures. And I wanted you guys to also have that information. They're a very good fit in an urban environment because the size and how easy it is to feed them very simple table scraps goes a long way. The concerns were a lot about the hygiene, bird influenza, the noise, which we would essentially all cities provide. No roosters are allowed, and the permits and people actually going through with the regulations of it. So that is that. And then I also, the fourth article was more benefits and challenges of raising chickens. A lot of the benefits you probably already can guess. And I kind of listed that out in bullet points, and that after the article, it was just plain eggs, proper education for people, pest control, good for children. They are quiet if we don't allow roosters. They do reduce waste. They actually, you can compost, you can use their fertilizer, you can use that for your flower beds, for your gardens. Provide education, entertainment, they're rewarding pets, weed control, and eggs on top of that. So the challenges of urban chickening was no roosters and people following the rules. Grand Rapids, I was looking into theirs, and they have, one of the challenges says neighbor problems, and in Grand Rapids they have 75% of your neighbors need to agree to you to being okay with you having your chickens in town. So you need at least 3/4 of them to say, yes, I'm okay with you having a chicken, and then that needs to be provided in your permit. And they take up space, but I think allowing the people need a certain amount of space in their yard, and then you guys set the regulations on what space is required for them. And I left the Grand Rapids requirements right there so you guys could see those space requirements. Let's see. And the other 2 dilemmas were almost more for the owners issues that they'll probably have owning a chicken, but I feel like the people that would take this on would hopefully have the responsibility and know what to do as an owner of chickens. So benefits, I left here some good home keeping for chickens, so you guys can look at that website if you guys are going to visit this and learn about what chickens actually need for a good home. The Grand Rapids was about just $20 flat fee. It looks like the Duluth licensing that I provided for you was the best application that I saw out there for providing a permit and everything taken care of. So I printed that one out for you. So you can look at it and maybe hopefully make your decision easier. And yeah, I just wanted you guys to maybe revisit that ordinance and know that a lot of these places around us, Farmertown, Duluth, Proctor, Robbinsdale, in the cities are changing their ordinances and allowing these chickens, and it's usually up to 4 chickens is what I've seen so far, but no more, no less than 2 for quality of life.
Okay.
And
Well, you definitely came prepared here. Definitely material to look over for us. I love the idea. Again, just the hiccups come with animal control, and you know, what do you do if somebody's breaking the ordinance and you know, going over and removing, you know, chickens from a smaller lot, or people that don't follow that. But yeah, I think we should all take this home and give it a read. So, thank you, Brittany.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay. And that was it for public. Council reports. Let's start with Councilor Hollova.
Good evening. I have no report tonight.
Busy guy and no report?
I got a lot of irons in the fire, but still waiting on some information, so.
Great, no. Councilor Baki.
Good evening. I have no report. I'm too busy.
Councilor Halverson.
I guess I'm not that busy because I'll give a report.
Good job. Thanks for picking up the slack.
The only thing I have to report on is I attended the local Board of Appeals equalization meeting in the reconvening, and had 2 redhead meetings and a number of redhead site visits. So.
Thank you. I have no report other than the public safety building is coming along. Seems like quite rapidly. So again, if anybody wants to take a tour over there, stop over and see Brendan, and he'd be happy to show you. Otherwise, you can wait another 2 months. We'll be walking in. So let's see, your ambulance director, Tiffany. Good evening.
Good evening.
No report. All right. Fire chief, Chris. Yeah, no report. Police chief, Vern.
Hey, you know what, I don't really have a report, but I'll come up and talk to you.
Love to talk.
I heard you guys.
That's the spirit. That's the spirit.
And Mr. Mayor, you're starting now. You're absolutely right, the building's moving along. Once they started putting the windows in the doors, and it just seems to take on a life of its own. I know they're happy to give tours, but not this week, because they're doing the epoxy floors, and there's, the smell of that is horrendous, and there's a lot of allergic reactions to it, so, not this week. But they'll be, and pretty soon we'll be having open house for everybody. So, I, last week, attended the Minnesota Chief of Police Association's annual conference. Fabulous conference this year, excellent speakers, good educational experience, great camaraderie and networking for all the chiefs. The downside of the whole thing is the state demographer was there, and her predictions, and they've known this for a while, but she really slammed it home and showed us the numbers of the people that aren't going to be around to do our jobs. And I don't mean just law enforcement, I mean the amount of people coming up to take the jobs that are available is getting, it's not growing, it's actually going to be tapering off for a few more years. And the real, they said the Northland across the whole northern state is gonna be the worst hit in Minnesota. So, and that's across the board. That doesn't just mean law enforcement jobs, but for people that take all jobs. So that was a little grim prospect to look at. The upside is we should be full staff by the end of the year. We're looking better so than we have in the last 5 years. So even though there's less people, we're doing okay. So as soon as we get everybody trained and everything, we should be at full staff by school time. So
You're saying keep being the best city and people will come here to work.
absolutely.
Yeah, great to hear.
Keep the universe going. Yeah. So that's all I had.
Thank you, Chief.
Thank you.
Be competitive. Thank you.
Building official, Mandy. City engineer, Jim.
I'll keep it to 2 minutes. Thank you, Mayor, members of the council. Just 2 things, just a quick update on our 5th Street South project. I would encourage you to go out and take a look at it. It's amazing what's happening down there and what a nice job they're doing in getting it cleaned up. And with a weather forecast for rain this weekend, they were out getting the boulevard shaped. The last 2 days, Monday and Tuesday, I should say, they did the removals on that westerly 2 blocks between 2nd Avenue and Central Avenue, removing the sidewalks, the streets and everything. They got the temporary water set up, and they've got the enclosures around the storm sewer intake, so if it does rain, hopefully we'll drain and not have kayaking and boating going on in the area. And Larry, do you know, are they planning to start the actual sanitary sewer construction yet this week? Or
No, they're gonna wait because of the rain.
because of the rain and so forth, but they've got it very nicely shaped up, and you can drive through there, and it's quite encouraging, and a nice job they are doing. The second thing is in regards to our lead service line inventory that we're doing, and things are going extremely well. We thank those people that have responded to the utility billing brochures that went out that I shared with you at the last council meeting. We're putting that same information on the city's website. It's on the Facebook. For those people that have not yet responded, it'll put the brochure in next month's utility bill as well. Denise and Christy are doing an excellent job as people come in to pay their utility bill of giving them that information or collecting that. And it's amazing the number of people that are actually coming in with a photograph and their description. So we are getting that information logged in. So we're continuing to need your assistance, but I think, Larry, we've got something like over 30% of our population has already responded. If they need assistance, please call Denise at 254-7905, and Denise will contact the Public Works Department, such as if elderly or whoever needs assistance. We'll make an appointment for our crews to go out and actually gather that information on their behalf if they would like. So with that, and they're also going to be publishing it in May in the newspaper, I think 2 or 3 Sundays and 2 or 3 Wednesdays, that same brochure, that same information, and trying to get that information. So anything we can do to help you or provide assistance to you in having you gather that information or having us gather that information for you, we would certainly appreciate it. Thank you.
Correct. Thank you, Jim.
How long was it?
More than 2 minutes.
2:41 to be exact. I was gonna see. Good. It was good though for an engineer. Nice job.
I applied.
Usually long-winded, accountants too. Moving on. Public Works. Larry, good evening.
Thank you, Mayor, Council. I'll spin off of your comment about great city, great people. We appreciate it. What Jim was talking about, honorable mention to our Facebook post, and we had received over one weekend in that Facebook post and with the mailings and stuff, we had 391 text messages sent into the city phone. So that's amazing. Just in one weekend, we're well above 30% of reaching our goal of 100% just in Facebook and text messages and emails, which is amazing. The engineering firm that we're working with has not ever even heard of those numbers before. So Chisholm again, right? And thank you very much. Mandy really wanted to use the phone that we provided, but it was so blown up she couldn't even use it. So that failed, but for a good reason. And we expect to get that back to her as soon as we can. 41 or 41 text messages just last night. Neighbors helping neighbors, Kids helping elderly, family, that might not know what Facebook is even, and things like that, so we appreciate it very much. Besides that, the sweeper's out daily and doing the best we can, getting, although it even looks nice, remember we're trying to pick up all the leaves and the dirt and the salt and all that before it gets in the storm sewer and into the lake. So we're out with the sweeper every day we can. We have a water filter project at the water plant we've been working on for about 2 years. We do that next week. And I believe we're gonna end up saving about $230,000 for our ratepayers by doing the work ourselves. But it took some training and some learning and knowledge, and we got the right people to help us, so. Seasonal labors is out. Thank you, parents and whoever would encourage them. We got 8 over Sunday night, I think Susan said. So the numbers were really scary low, and now we're sitting fine, so thank you for getting those in. And the water sewer utility person that we're hiring for in public utilities closes May 1st, so we have another week. And again, off of Jim's mention about the 5th Street South project, it is going excellent. I know that because there's no questions and there's no complaints. And that usually means they know what they're doing and they're doing a good job. So it's going very well down there. And really take a ride through there. They started on Monday, and it looks like it's amazing. So take a look.
Thank you, Larry.
Thanks.
Thanks, Larry.
Thanks, Larry.
Parks, Chelsea, Bridget, good evening.
Good evening, council and mayor. Some updates from Parks and Rec is that I can finally make it official. We were waiting on paperwork for the last couple of weeks to announce that we have 2 coordinators for Chisholm Summer Rec Program, and that is Katrina Cernich and Olivia Hutchings. And we've just been in interviews today to interview specialists, so that is going well. And we hired our Parks, Trails, and Rec coordinator, and that's Jen Morias, and she has started already. Let's see, soccer has 95, so that just did bump up a little bit after we closed. So soccer practices have started, soccer games start soon, next week. And volleyball is open, so spread the word. We're looking for teams to join volleyball this year. And also Chisholm Summer Rec Program is open with online registration this year. So that is all available through the city website, and we're pushing it out via social media. I had one more thing I thought I needed to share, and now I'm not remembering what it is. So yeah, I guess that'll be it.
Bunch of good news.
Yeah. Oh, I do have one more thing. Redhead website will be launched in the next 2 weeks. So it's called redheadmtbpark.com. So instead of landing pages for Redhead information being located at the Discovery Center and the City of Chisholm website, now we have our own .com, and it should get a lot of traffic, really. So that's getting built out right now, and a couple weeks it'll be ready.
Excellent, perfect. Thank you.
Good work.
Thank you.
Library Supervisor, Katie, good evening.
All right, good evening, everyone. A couple updates from the library. We conducted interviews the first week in April for the summer intern position. We had some great applicants. There was some hard decisions, but contingent upon some background checks, we're hopeful to have an individual start here in just a couple weeks. And we always just look forward to the extra creative energy and the help that position brings during the summer months. Our 2023 annual report was submitted to this state, which kind of encompasses a lot of data collection, but just wanted to bring you guys a couple highlights from that report. So in 2023, we offered 80 in-person programs with a total of 3,549 patrons in attendance. We checked out 15,733 items, and we had 15,801 visits in 2023. So a lot of cool data. If anybody's ever interested, please reach out and I can share more, but just a few highlights. Last night we had a public engagement session at the library regarding the green space between City Hall and the library. We had a great turnout, a great group of people, and just a huge thank you to those who showed up and gave us some feedback and had some ideas. I know there's a few of you in the audience. Brittany was a huge help in putting together some of the visuals, so thank you for all the help with that. And I feel like we have a pretty good vision to anchor into as we start taking some of the small steps that we need to make some enhancements in that space. So, all good things there.
Thank you.
Thank you. Good job.
Thank you.
Okay, city attorney. Brian, good evening.
Good evening, Mayor. No formal report.
Any questions for the attorney? City clerk, treasurer, administrator. Stephanie. Good evening.
Yep, that's pretty much sums up my week. So I've been working with the finance team here at City Hall just to kind of work through the interim of the lapse of a clerk treasurer. So we have that posted right now. That closes May 13th. So if you're interested or have any questions on that, just reach out to us. But so I've been doing a lot of that, of working with them and just getting through that time.
Excellent. Thank you very much. All right, council, we'll move on to consent agenda, which consists of the list of bills, communications, which are February 15th, PUC meeting minutes, resignation from Chisholm City Ambulance, Michelle Olson, resignation from Chisholm Ambulance, Luke Rolke, minutes from previous city council meeting, April 10th, 2024, regular meeting minutes, payroll, and overtime. And I have to apologize when I rambled on at the last meeting. I saw Chisholm administration resignation, and I was thinking of the ambulance. Luke had shared the information with me that he was resigning, so that's what I was thinking of. So I outed him at that point. But again, so Luke is moving down to the metro area, back towards his home and friends. And I would absolutely love to say, thank you everything to Michelle Olson for everything you've done for the community over the last 7 years, and especially as our new service, has been entered on. She definitely sacrificed a lot of time, a lot of personal time in the very beginning, and we definitely wouldn't be here. I know so many people owe a lot of, gratitude for her for the knowledge that she shared. So thank you, Michelle. So with that being said, I would look for a motion to approve the consent agenda.
Make the motion.
Thank you, Jed.
Support.
Thank you, Travis. Any further discussion? All those in favor? Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. No unfinished business. We'll move on to ambulance director, Tiffany.
And just clear it off the back of that, I am here to request the hire of Shiloh Younger, EMT.
Excellent. Always exciting to see some new people coming in.
Yep, deciding to get an EMT, she's fully qualified, she's passed everything, she's ready to go.
Perfect. Right, council, I would look for a motion to approve the hiring of Shiloh Unger.
I'll make a motion.
Oh, sorry, Mike. Go ahead.
I'll make a motion.
Thank you, Marty.
Support.
Thank you, Travis. Any further discussion? All those in favor? Aye. Opposed? Motion carries.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Jim?
Again, Mayor and members of the council. The first item is on pages 14 and 15, which is the receipt of the feasibility report for our 2024 street and alley rehabilitation project. The purpose of this is to accept that feasibility report, but then to set the public hearing date, which I am proposing to be before your second meeting in May at 5 o'clock. And a week before that, on that Wednesday, the 15th would be a public informational meeting across the street, I'm thinking at the Senior Citizen Center, for this project. By way of explanation, on the feasibility report that you see, it was about 6 weeks ago that we brought forward the resolution to order the preparation of the feasibility report. And with that, Larry and I had submitted a listing of what we saw as priority streets, alleys, and following that, the Public Works Department went through, especially on the streets, to evaluate the condition primarily of the sanitary sewer. And as a result of that, we had to remove some projects where the utilities are in poor condition, and chances are we may need to do some repairs certainly within the next 5 or 10 years on those projects. So some of those projects that we had originally listed got deleted. There are other projects that got added to this feasibility report, including the Ironman statute parking lot. Another example would be the alley just west of 7th Avenue, which is half a block south of our 3rd Street project, where we just had a short piece there, probably 100 or 200 feet long, that we were proposing, where there was a steep slope on the west end. When Larry and I went through that, we thought people are not going to be happy with only having 100 feet or 200 feet in a portion of it, so we put the whole alley in there. What we have brought back to you that we realize is really probably a 5 to 10 year capital improvement program on street and alley resurfacing. Because as you see, the cost of the project is estimated a little over $1 million. And I personally think some of the costs may be a little bit high, but that's just an opinion. And until it's got a 15% construction contingency, it's got a 15% overhead. I'm not saying it's wrong. I think the cost will come down. But included in the packet as well, back on page 29, Susan was good enough to put this together. After that, you see from the feasibility report the breakdown of cost for each segment or each the blocks of alleys and or streets with the construction cost. And what Susan provided for us, typed up on pages 29 and 30, are the anticipated revenues from assessments on those segments. So when we get to the public informational meeting, the public hearing, I will combine both of those so that you see the estimated project cost, the estimated assessment revenues, as well as a net cost for each of those segments. My hope through the public informational meeting and the public hearing is the residents will let us know their opinions, whether they favor the project in their particular area or do not want to see it move forward. I don't have any real prejudice other than I think a high priority should be by the St. John's Catholic Church?
St.
Joseph Catholic Church. They actually submitted a petition, I think about a year and a half, 2 years ago, and we've been waiting for a mill and overlay project, but that 100 block of 4th Street or 3rd Street?
4th Street. Yep.
Southwest should be a high priority. But based on that input that we received from the public information meeting as well as the public hearing, hopefully tonight we're talking about a special council work session. That would be one of the items on that as well, where we can sit down with you as council, decide what are the priorities. My thought would be, we know we've budgeted about $200,000 out of this year's budget. My thought would be, we'll look at those high priority projects, probably totaling up to about $300,000 in estimated net cost that we will bid out, but we'll have them prioritized. We'll let the contractors know that our room budget is $200,000. Once we receive bids, we'll go through and do as many of those projects as we can. The balance of the projects will have the feasibility study, we'll have the plans and specs all ready to use in future years. So really what we're looking at is a 4 to 5 year or more, depending on funding, capital improvement program for mill and overlay projects. With that, I would be happy to answer any questions, but I would recommend approval of this resolution 0424-38, accepting the feasibility and calling for the public hearing on the project. As I said, we're a week before that, on the 15th, we'll also be conducting a public informational meeting across the street at the Senior Citizen Center. With that, I would be happy to answer any questions that you might have.
Okay. Just one thing, just obviously this caught everybody a little off guard on that there, so a little more of a memo as to why, just the change in the layout, maybe a little helpful. No, you don't, no, nothing to apologize for, it's, something catches you off guard if you don't know, it's kinda,
Because some of those, like these Ironman statue parking lot, wasn't really being considered, but got brought forward, we went down and looked at it, and it certainly has an obvious need, but there's about $100,000 cost to it too. So.
So then with the approval of this, obviously, it's just going to trigger that next step of getting the public, input from you.
Public input, and then we'll come back and work with you in terms of what we think are you as council, plus what you have from input from the public as to which should be the priority projects that we should try to move forward with bidding on the project.
So working session after, would you suggest after May 15th and before the 22nd, or after the 22nd?
I would suggest probably after the public hearing, although usually we don't have many people show up at the public hearing, but probably after the 22nd.
Okay.
Actually, I'm going to be out of the country from the 20th of May through June 8th, so Stephanie will have.
I would be
to
too
prepare
after
the
bringing
engineer's
this.
hat as well.
Yep.
Any more questions?
Yeah, just to reiterate what Adam said, this report was so much different than what we had kind of budgeted and thought last fall, that a better explanation of why would have been appreciated, because I certainly was confused as to why it was so drastically different. And then I guess my other commentary would be that when we do sewer televising, whether it's sanitary or storm or both, in an area where we want to do work, do you go through the logs as well and the tapes, the recordings, and okay?
With the new camera, it's very efficient and very good. It prints out an actual report for us.
Okay, and as you go through the recordings and the logs and whatever plans you may or may not have, and comparing it to how many houses were on the block and how many pipes were found, if you could prepare a report, or SEH or JPG, whoever, if you do it, they do it, it would be good to have an engineer's report and included in feasibility, so that we all know that here's why we're not doing this block, because according to our televising, we found pipes that are in bad shape. I think going forward, I think it'd be good policy to always have your engineering expertise prepare the report and make it either part of the feasibility or a standalone. And so it's always in the file too. So in 5 or 10 years, when somebody different is in here,
Good comment.
they can look it up and say, hey, they televised this 10 years ago. Here's what they found, and look at it again, it's the same, or now it's way worse. Things like that. So, thank you.
Part of that same follow-up, thank you, Marty, for those comments. They are very valid, because we're also looking and working with MnDOT on their mill and overlay project going up Highway 73, and we had some utility crossings. One of them, I think, is at 2nd or 3rd Street up here, and we've got some repair work that needs to be done on that sanitary sewer crossing. That wasn't done as part of that project back about 2000 when they did Highway 73.
Okay.
So that's the type of information that we are gathering.
And do you keep, to piggyback off that, do you keep that information, like after you go through and make like a report or some kind of?
Actually loading that stuff onto our shared drive on the computer.
Perfect, okay, excellent. Okay. Any other questions?
Excellent. Thank you.
All right, council, nothing else, I would look for a motion to approve resolution 0424-39. Oh, I'm sorry, I'm on the wrong page. Where are we here? Jumping ahead, 38. Yeah. 0424-38, feasibility study.
Make a motion.
Thank you, Jen.
Support.
Thank you, Travis. Any further discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
Did you submit that to a concession or to another agenda then? Fiscal control?
Next, Mayor.
Was that part of that there for the, for the,
Yeah. Sorry, Jim.
sorry, Jim.
No, that's fine. If you'll turn to pages 50 and 51, please. As part of our Fifth Street project, funding for that project, we're kind of in the final steps of that loan application process. for which I am now preparing the funding package, if you will. And as a part of that funding packet includes this resolution that needs to be included in that packet. And both the next two items, this one is dealing with clean water, which is the sanitary sewer portion of the project. And as you see, then on page 51, it's a standard resolution that they ask us to use. But from the preliminary numbers, in terms of eligible expenses under the sanitary sewer demolition and reconstruction, which includes the restoration work of streets, sidewalks, anything that have to be removed, basically 10 feet each side of that utility. As you see, what they're proposing is a grant of just under $623,000 and a loan of about $333,635 for a total grant and loan package of $956,523. These are kind of the upper limits, and as we go through the process, we will be seeking repayment of those costs after we pay the contractor their fees and the engineering fees, the other fees that go with the project. We'll be seeking reimbursement up to these amounts. We think I was plentiful in the funding of it, so, but when we get to the end of the project, for whatever we've received, primarily in the loan portion of it, the grant gets paid out first, but the loan, whatever we get in loan, well, it'll be up to that $333,635. If we only need $250,000, that'll be in that final bond package that we will have to amortize over, I don't remember if this one's 20 years or 30 years, but it's all part of that amortization. So with that, I would ask for you to approve resolution 042439 for the Clean Water Revolving Fund grants and loans on that Fifth Street South infrastructure project. With that, I'd be happy to answer any questions that you might have.
Questions? Okay, council, I'll look for a motion to approve resolution 0424-39.
I'll make the motion.
Thank you, Marty.
Support.
Thank you, Jed. Any further discussion?
Just one item. Your name is spelled wrong.
What's that?
Your name is spelled wrong.
Oh,
Susan and I
Oh,
got that.
yeah?
We'll have to see.
That's-
at the end.
You can
Sometimes
you can drop the L too.
hey, perfect.
And actually, that grant is about 65% of that total package on that sanitary sewer side, so.
Perfect. That's all right. I've been called worse. All right, council. All those in favor? Aye. Opposed? Motion carries.
Thank you, Mayor. And then, on a likewise manner, on page 52 is a similar resolution, but this is for the drinking water side. And actually, there'll be a third one coming down the road when they finally give me access to the lead service line inventory replacement package. We've been asking them for it for about 2 months, and they still haven't granted me access. They know I can't handle it anyways. But anyway, this is for the drinking water side, the replacement of the water main. As you see there, on the drinking water side, it's all in loan. There are no grant funds associated with that. But that limit is $765,674 as our maximum reimbursable expense. I don't anticipate get too close to that number. But again, we've got to make those funding decisions as we move forward with the project, and we'll be doing that on a regular basis to make sure we maintain a cash flow. Our new treasurer is making that very plain. So I may be working a few more hours a week just getting reimbursement requests put together. With that, I would ask for your approval of resolution 0424-40, applying for the PFA loan from the Drinking Water Revolving Fund for the Fifth Street South infrastructure project. With that, I'd be happy to answer any questions you might have.
Thank you, Jim. And council, I'd look for a motion to approve resolution 0424-40.
I'll make the motion.
Thank you, Travis.
Second.
Thank you, Marty. Any further discussion? All those in favor? Opposed? Motion carries.
Thank you very much, and with Susan's help, we'll get both of these full packet applications. There's quite a volume that has to be put together for each of those packages. We hope to get those submitted next week to PFA for their approval. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Jim.
Thanks, Jim.
Good work.
Good work.
Bridget. Welcome back.
Thank you. Tonight, I'm asking for approval of the job description for seasonal campground and trails coordinator, similar to the Parks Trails Rec coordinator that we hired Jen Morias as, for seasonal jobs that we were discovering it's very young, inexperienced folks coming through, which is great because it's an opportunity to gain work experience. But in the campground and Redhead, we've been very lucky to have some exceptional young people in the last several years working, but I don't know that that will always be the case. So in thinking strategically ahead for the future, we're looking at this particular seasonal position has more responsibility, has more leadership, has more front-facing communication with campground guests who are paying guests to the campground, and just some of the work in the scope does, I think, necessitate a little higher wage to recruit the right people for this position. So I'm hoping to make the shift this year and be able to retain maybe a seasonal that would come back year to year for this position, because sometimes when you offer a good title, that changes things and it keeps people coming back too. So this job description's in front of you. It has all the information there that was written into it. And I'm looking for approval of the job description first, and then we go through the process of asking if I can post it.
Okay. No.
So is
Good.
this specific just one person?
This would be, yes, one person, and they would also have a secondary person, another seasonal part, or would be maintenance, would be with them.
Okay.
And they would be the guide of that person doing the campground, and then they go over to Redhead together to do the maintenance on trail.
Okay.
No, great thinking, very proactive, so. All right, council, I would look for a motion to approve job description for seasonal campground and trails coordinator.
Make the motion.
Thank you, Jed.
I'll second.
Thank you, Marty. Any further discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
Thank you. Page 58, I'm asking for approval to post for the seasonal campground and trails coordinator position.
All right, council, I'll look for a motion to approve to post. Be a post and hire, that's the next one. Yeah.
Motion.
Thank you, Travis.
Second.
Thank you, Jed. Any further discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
And finally, approval to hire a qualified candidate for seasonal campground and trails coordinator position.
Any council?
Motion.
Thank you, Travis.
Second.
Thank you, Marty. Any further discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Thank you, Bridget.
Thank you.
All right. Next up, Katie.
Right. Page 61 of your packet, actually 62. We have a resolution to accept a $100 donation from Cheryl and Larry Clean and earmark the funds for the Chisholm Library. So big thank you to Cheryl and Larry.
Yeah, absolutely. And council, I'll look for a motion to approve resolution 0424-41. And send a thank you letter?
It's done.
Sure it's done, thank you.
Motion to approve.
Thank you, Travis. Support. Thank you, Jed. Further discussion? All those in favor? Aye. Opposed? Motion carries.
Thank you, Katie.
All right. Wow, this one's coming to an end.
I know.
Huh?
It's
Stephanie,
exciting.
yeah.
Something we've been working on for quite a while.
Yes, I just made maps of it.
Perfect. I was just thinking that, Marty. Thank you for that. So, as you all know, we've had multiple discussions on swapping some land with the school, kind of what makes sense moving forward strategically for both the Chisholm School District and the City of Chisholm. What we have agreed upon after many discussions with the school board and with Attorney Lindsay is I know we don't call it the police park anymore. What do we call it?
It's the Chisholm.
Police park.
No,
Police park.
it's the CCF park, the Chisholm.
Yeah.
Community
The Chisholm
Foundation
Community Foundation Park, which is located behind the current police
Well,
department.
police park.
Yeah, it won't be because we're moving anyways. There'll be that lot, and then there are also, we have where our lift station is on Fifth Street. There's the Little League ball field, and there's a parcel next to the Little League ball field that we'll be swapping for, in your packet on page 67. We had some survey changes on this area back behind at the sports complex. So the school will have the track and the football field and the fields that are within parcel B, and then the city will keep parcel A. And then we'll work directly with the city on, we do have sometimes when we have some overlap on those parks for summer rec or some other areas of the school may use it. So we have agreed to that. So in your packet, you will have the land exchange agreement and then also the certificate of the survey, which shows those two parcels being split. If this is approved tonight, I don't believe it has gone to the school board yet, so it would need to go to that for approval, and then we'll work with Attorney Lindsay's office to get those lands changed over. Any questions?
Excellent. Thank you. That's a lot of work. Many years, lots of conversations.
It's been a while.
Oh.
It's good though.
So it's only parcel B is going to the school?
Correct.
Okay.
Yep. And we're keeping the wall.
And there's verbiage in place, so in case anything ever happens with the school, that comes back to the city.
And Mayor, just a comment for me. In an unusual twist, this document is about a quarter today what it was at the beginning, which is what I think made this possible. So
What was that again?
the actual contract, the document, is about a quarter of what it started out as.
Okay.
Council, I'll look for a motion to approve the land swap with the school.
Make a motion.
Thank you, Jed.
I'll second.
Thank you, Marty. Any further discussion?
This makes my job a lot harder. I should have probably opposed this. But
Yeah, we get the Little League field though.
great.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Thank you, Stephanie.
Good work.
Travis?
All right, council, I was asked, well, first of all, I suppose I should say that I am part of the Chisholm Giving Wellness Committee. And last year, they had a staff event that was built around mental health and well-being for teachers down at Valentini's. Valentini's closes for a 3-hour period for just the school districts to go in there, and there's painting and there's yard games outside, axe throwing, bags, a couple of other things. So what they requested me to do was to ask council for permission to block off the one block from Lake Street to the First Street Southwest by the bank and Valentini's.
Now, I thought about it before I put my request in as far as the Jubilee parking lot, but I think it's safer if we block it's only a 3-hour period, and I think it's safer if we block the whole block. That's just my personal opinion. And then on top of that, Valentini's closes, there'll be drinks outside, so we would need to declare, I assume, a community festival for that time period as well. The date, I didn't put it on here, did I? First Thursday in May. May 2nd.
Excellent. A much needed break for our educators. Well, it's good that you're doing that and doing it in Chisholm. Thank you.
Yes.
Yeah, Josh. Good work.
Last year we didn't have a block this because it didn't take up as much room. Like literally, guys bring enough stuff down there in case we have to expand it. And that's it. And I pray you have better weather this year, because last year got chilly with the wind.
Yeah.
So we could do that again if that works?
Yeah. If they need to expand, you need to expand.
Yeah, that's fine.
Perfect. All right, council, I would look for a motion to approve the closure from Lake Street up to First Avenue if needed for May 2nd, 2024, and to declare a citywide festival in that one block area.
Make a motion.
Thank you, Jed.
Second.
Thank you, Marty. Any further discussion? All those in favor? Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. Okay, moving on to myself, schedule a working session, and which will encompass the Arena Curling Club and MDOT Highway 73 refinishing.
And if you would add 2024 Street and Alley rehab project prioritization, please.
You want that on this one? This is gonna probably be before your meeting though.
Yep.
Oh, okay.
We'll have to have another one for that.
That's fine, thank you.
You may fix it, doesn't matter, it could be later.
No, let's just do that. And then, obviously I am kind of intrigued about the conversation about the chickens in town. So obviously the conversation is probably between us. It's too much to be having one in here. So if we could add that, maybe to the end of that, something for us to come up with certain questions. Questions to direct our police chief and possible city attorney, and at least get everybody's thoughts and feel what their feelings are.
And Mayor, if you'd like for that meeting, I've got a couple different versions of chicken ordinances already put together. I can adopt them and send them over.
And even on top of that, enforcement would be the biggest,
Yep.
And in the meantime, gives us a chance to talk to Grand Rapids or other cities about how they deal with enforcement and what kind of issues it might create. I'm not sure how you're.
I got one on the 14th. This
May-
one potentially midnight. You may have to reschedule
Might have to reschedule it. May 14th. Does that
that. Was
work?
a potential date for midnight. So
Have MnDOT
So
here.
we're gonna have them.
we are going to have them here because when they are doing the 73 going north, there's going to be significant financial decisions that the city needs to make because we do have some obligation to that project based on there's the street lights out at the intersection and then the lighting, and there's certain things that the city does have responsibility for. So we need to have those discussions with them because there are decisions that need to be made.
Will the sewer pipes be part of that, what Jim was talking about earlier? Then? Or-
I don't believe we have, I don't think that's part of our,
There are utilities, it'll become our obligation, it's not
right,
in the cost sharing portion of that
Right.
right now that I'm aware of, Marty.
because that's just an overlay, don't they just doing a mill-in overlay on that, I believe? I'd have to double check on it, Marty.
But we might have to do a dig there, possibly.
We cambered those lines, they're good right now.
Are they good? I was thinking there was one, or maybe that was Fifth Street. Larry.
Maybe one, but otherwise, most everything is good.
Yeah, so there's just some additional, we've had a couple meetings with them, and I think it's to the point where there's just some additional questions that need to have some council input on it, so I think a working session would be best for that meeting. Unfortunately, one of the members from MnDOT is on vacation right now, so I got the May 14th date from another person that's in the office. Hopeful that would work for everybody. I'm not sure if it will. If it's not, we can always just I can put out other dates and we can sign up. We don't have to schedule today.
Okay. Tentatively, May 14th works for me.
It's fine with me.
5 o'clock?
Yep.
5 o'clock, May 14th. Okay, council, I'll look for a motion.
Motion.
Thank you, Travis.
Support.
Thank you, Jed. Any further discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Motion carries.
And I'll just send out an email if something changes. That works.
That works. Working session. All right, under miscellaneous, does anybody have anything else? I would look for a motion to adjourn.
Make a motion.
Thank you, Jed.
Support.
Thank you, Travis. Any further discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
This is the public safety overall.